So here we go. We're going to start with Shabbat Shalom Umvarach, which is a peaceful and blessed Shabbat. Before we start this journey down a Shabbat without gender. We'll talk about that in a moment, but it's an interesting experiment that Hebrew speakers are trying to do in order to address the need for some who do not want to be identified as either a he or a she. So here we go. Shabbat Shalom Umevorach. Shabbat Shalom Umevorach. Shabbat Shalom Umevorach. Shabbat Shalom Umevorach. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom Umevorach. Shabbat Shalom Umevorach. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom Umevorach. Shabbat Shalom Umevorach. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom Umevorach. I realized I didn't have to share screen for that. You've been staring at candle blessing that entire time, but that's okay. Here we go. So I was thinking about this notion of taking gender out of the idea of God and gender out of the idea of ourselves. And in some ways, as we, do you mind texting Milo? Thank you. As we try to find peace and oneness within and connection to others, when we can erase that, we can erase is God male or female, or if there's a God at all, what are we? Are we male or female? What are we? And there's all these dividing lines. What are you? Right? Are you over there? Or are you over there? And if for a moment we can just kind of get rid of all of that and have the language be neutral, have all the translations be neutral, and for a second we really can be just one humanity without all of those dividing lines. So if you have candles with you, and I do, we're going to light them in a moment. And I really love the readings that this organization offered us. So I'm going to read this, and feel free to read it either out loud or to yourself as well. And then we'll light them. Take a moment to think about what you most want to receive this Shabbat, and then consider that which you would most like to let go of. Inhale, inviting that which you want to receive, and exhale, receiving that which no longer serves. In some ways, that's a lot like our Shema, where we take in that love and process it and then send it back. We're bringing in something that's healthy, and then we're kind of trying to get out, blow out what we want to let go of this Shabbat. And so I've got candles, so I'm going to light mine over here on a little side table. Here's one. I'm going to try not to burn myself. And here's two. And even though it's light out, that at least means that for us, it's time to take a break and just see how we can make this time a little special for ourselves. If you like drawing the light into your eyes, as it says on this page, please feel free to. And we're going to sing this blessing in this still being researched way of doing blessings with gender neutrality. So here we go. Bruche ate Adonai, Elohimotenu maleket haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvoteha, v'tzivenu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And it's traditional to bless your spouse, bless your children when it's Shabbat. And we're not going to do the spouse one because not all of us have spouses, or they're no longer with us, or they're not physically with us. So we're instead going to do the blessing for children. If you don't have children, you could bless all of the children out there. If you have children and they're not with you, bless them anyway. Tell them later. I send it to you even if you're not here. And then what we're going to do actually is bless ourselves. Instead of blessing a spouse, we're going to really bless the individual. And so again, if you want to read this out loud, feel free, or just listen to me do it, either way. We give thanks for the blessing that is you, your being, your becoming. Every day we witness your growth, your curiosity, your persistence, and we give thanks for every new lesson as you become more and more each day, the person you are meant to be. It reminds me of our holy days when we did our becoming exercise. And as someone who has a kid in the LGBTQ plus community, it is true. We watch them become and change. And as parents, it's our job just to like be on this ride with them where they go, so they know wherever they go, we're there and we're with them no matter what. And so now a blessing that's for ourselves and for each other if you're together. It's a moment to celebrate ourselves as individuals in this Shabbat. So one more blessing before we get to our wine and challah. This Shabbat, amidst the growing twilight, I affirm myself in my full dignity, in my truth and in my lived experience. I celebrate my resilience and my wholeness, my fortitude and my strength, and I name and bless myself as a sovereign being under a canopy of stars. My aliveness is my own. And so now we're just going to do the short blessing for wine. So if you have some juice or wine there, grab it. Even if you have water, that's okay. You know what? On the bima, it's almost always water. They don't tell you that, but that's what's up there. And so having blessed each other and ourselves, we'll bless the wine or grape juice, pausing to recognize the holiness of this moment and the beauty of sanctification. This is cool. I've never heard this before. Feel free to whisper into the cup something you're yearning for before you say the blessing and take that first sip. Interesting. Think about it. Maybe you whisper into your cup. And now singing. Oh, I have to get it larger for myself because it's not memorized when it's in a new Hebrew set. We'll do our Kiddush and take a sip. Bruche ate Adonai, Elohimotenu malket haolam, borat puri hagafen. And a sip of whatever you have, l'chaim. And last, this is the part that's for the dinner table, our blessing of the challah. Take a moment to close your eyes. Feel the line of your body against the chair and your feet on the floor. See if you can sense the earth beneath the floor, beneath your feet, and remember that we are a part of nature. Spend a moment or two feeling the support of the earth beneath you, and then open your eyes. We remember that our motzi doesn't say that we're grateful for bread. It says that we're grateful for the bread that gets pulled out of the earth. And so the earth is key. It's always interesting with students to talk about, well, what do you need to go into the loaf of challah? What's coming from the earth? And of course, there's wheat. But you need the whole earth operating together. You need yeast, and you need eggs, and you need honey, and you need water, and you need all of these, and you need an oven, you need heat, you need sun. And so that's what we're feeling beneath our feet. And maybe as we do motzi, then it's our dedication to work a little harder, to protect the earth so we can keep on eating. I have a friend across the country who just logged on. And so here's our blessing. If you've got a challah, which I'm going to then throw around the room because I've got a couple of friends here with me. Baruch ate Adonai, Elohimנו malket haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. I'm subbing for a friend next week, and I was instructed after motzi we sing Shabbat Shalom, and don't forget, it's important. Have to do it. Okay, we'll try it. Farmer's market. Not bad. Except now I'm chewing. So we're going to go to our Shema. I'm actually going to make this a little bigger because we're really focusing on the way that we do the Shema. There we go. Which is this middle section, right? It's the first line of the Shema. And our translation, which never thought about it, is a genderless translation in English. And so far we've been using another version of Eloheinu, but I was looking up in the non-binary Hebrew project. Sometimes they use Eloheinu because technically that means our God. It's not really gendered in any way, but they are playing with it to take away any even hint of gender. But interesting, they still use Adonai, where Adon has a masculine quality to it. In modern Hebrew, Adon is a masculine word. And so we're going to keep it here because they're keeping it, but they're also playing with, do we say something like Yah? What do we say? What word do we use for God in these blessings that doesn't give the sense of masculinity or femininity? Because if you switch it to Shekhinah, then you've done the same thing in the other direction. So here we are with our Shema in this ultimate oneness of erasing gender, erasing dividing lines, and truly being one humanity. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Oh, hear this Israel. Oh, hear this humankind. Adonai lives in all of us, and we're all called one. Adonai lives in all of us, and we're all called one, and we're all called one. And so we're going to now read together the poetic, beautiful Marcia Falk poetry for the Shema and the Via Hafta. So this will be our Via Hafta for this evening. Hero Israel, holiness abounds everywhere and dwells in everything. The many are one. Loving life and its mysteries with all our heart and all our spirit, all our senses and strength. We take upon ourselves and into ourselves these promises: to care for the earth and those who live upon it, to pursue justice and peace, to love kindness and compassion. We will teach this to our children throughout the passage of the day, as we dwell in our homes and as we go on our journeys, from the time we rise until we fall asleep. And may our actions be faithful to our words, that our children's children may live to know truth and kindness have embraced, peace and justice have kissed, and are one. And our new Micha Mocha, that isn't a Micha Mocha, but is exactly a Micha Mocha, because it's about moving from narrow space to wide space, narrow thinking to open thinking. And you probably, I don't know if you remember, you may remember from the holy days when we first did this song that I wrote it in New York City. I laughed because I was in a very narrow place writing about an open space. I was actually in the shower, in a small shower in New York City. And I was thinking about my kid who was wanting something for Passover at college and for their LGBTQ plus Jewish community. And this song kind of popped out when I was thinking about what to send them. Because those friends are really moving from a narrow place to an open place. They're figuring out who they are with the freedom to explore. And maybe they didn't feel they had that freedom to explore, and now as they're becoming young adults, they're finding that freedom. And it's sometimes scary, sometimes interesting. For us parents, sometimes it's a roller coaster ride, but what an amazing thing to watch them evolve and evolve and evolve and be part of that process. And so if you know it, you can sing along with me at home if you want to. May we lift our hearts up from narrow place. May we invite our minds into open space. May the hate that binds us and pulls us toward flood release to higher ground, where we'll find only love. May the fears that linger sink along the shore. May the voices hidden emerge as mighty roar. May we lift our hearts up from narrow place. May we invite our minds into open space. So take just a moment of quiet. I'm not going to do a namida, but just let that sit for a moment. And the idea of moving into a place where we can breathe, and what we're inhaling is only love for ourselves, for each other. And out of that silence, we can find healing. So we're going to do an Elna Rafana Li together. Usually it's Elna Rafana La, that's the Torah. Moses talking about Miriam saying, double please, 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 God heal her. So we usually switch it, La and Lo, please heal her, please heal him. For this evening, we're going to do Elna Rafana Li and Elna Rafana Lanu, us. If we are asking for healing for ourselves, we all need some kind of healing in some fashion, I imagine. None of us are like, no, I'm really fine. We all have something that we could probably use a little healing, mind, body, soul. And then if we say us, if we're including all of us, Lanu, we've really covered everybody. Please heal me, and please heal all of us. And so if you want to put names in the chat, then we'll chant a few rounds, and then we can all see the names together, and I'll read them out loud if there's anyone you're thinking. Definitely do not be shy about putting yourself, if you're going through some things, that is A-okay to put. That's why partly why we're saying El Narifana Li, because we all need a little thought and healing. I went on autopilot. And so in our chat, we have a few names. We have Susanna and Ron Brody. And we have Maya Simon, Walt and Joan's granddaughter, and Gloria Godell. I'll add our parents as well, who are in need of healing. And I'm also just going to say for all of you, I'm going to say all your names quickly because we all need it. So for Charlotte and Walt and Joan and Bill and Deborah and Jay and Daniel and Renita, and I'm assuming Len's there too, and Mary and Mish. I have someone right here with me, Mish. Healing to all of you, to us, for the world, for everyone who doesn't have anyone to think about them who are suffering. And the last thing that we're going to do together, though there is no hurry for you to scurry away, is our version of Kaddish for this evening. So we're going to use a humanist version of Kaddish so that we do take all of that gender out and sing a Na'aseh Shalom together at the end. And so we're bringing into our presence from wherever you are around the country of those who we've lost and missed. Tradition is that you're thinking about someone who passed away within the last year or who passed away in this time of year. But as I always say, especially because we don't do Shabbat every week together, that if there's someone whose name you want to add, just add it. You don't have to wait. You don't have to feel like, oh, it's not my month. It's always your month to remember anyone that you want to remember. I always think about my dad. I think Andy always thinks about his mom. It doesn't have to be spring for me to think about him, or winter for him to think about his mom. So if you want to put names of anyone in the chat, feel free. And that way we can be thinking about all of them before we do this version of Kaddish together. And if you put it in while we're doing Kaddish, that's fine too. It will still count, even if we're already in progress. And so we have a little bit of Hebrew up top to start this together, but it is putting it in our action rather than an action happening for us. So here we go. Nit gadal v'nit kadash rucha ha'adam. Let us enhance and exalt ourselves in the spirit of humanity. And I'll pause there because we have a few names. So we're thinking about Julian Hirschman and of course Bob Norvell. See, it's always time to say Bob's name. And Renita added Ken Lesin, thank you. Let us acclaim the preciousness of life. Let us show gratitude for life by approaching it with reverence. Let us embrace the whole world, even as we wrestle with its parts. Let us fulfill each of us in our own way our share in serving the world and seeking truth. May our commitment to life help us strengthen healing of spirit and peace of mind. May healing and peace permeate and comfort all of Israel and all those who dwell on the earth. Nit gadal v'nit kadash brucha ha'adam. Let us enhance and exalt ourselves in the spirit of humanity. And let us say, Ken Yehi, may it be so. And so I have the Hebrew here, but I think I'm going to go to the transliteration. Oops, bring that down. And so we're going to do our Oseh Shalom. And we have a slight switch. And the switch is, instead of saying, hey, make peace outside of me, it's a call that we are making the peace, that it's our action, it's our doing. And we can take that doing and say, well, I'm doing God's work. And that's beautiful and inspiring. That's why we put words of love in our hands, so that we do the work we think God wants. And if that is not how we roll, then in another we just call upon humanity and say, come on people, it's us, we're gonna make peace. And so we'll sing our Na'aseh Shalom, making peace everywhere, high places, low places, around us, most of all inside of us, because it's very hard to get to work to take care of anyone else when we are in turmoil in here. So we got to get here first, and then we can bring it out to everyone else.
V'no